Okay. Do you guys feel pressure from the tour to stay quiet about changes to the tour itself? If not, do you feel your voice is heard when you speak up about anything regarding tour changes? I thought this was a
Mm,
fascinating question. You guys feel
I
any
think
pressure from the tour?
definitely.
This is what I would say. I don't think I feel any pressure. Like I don't think I feel like they're specifically telling us not to say stuff. So I don't feel any pressure in that regard. I think there's probably a sense of respect for the tour that I have that I feel like probably just it's like an unwritten rule. We just probably don't say certain things. Um, as far as my voice being heard, I don't feel like I say a whole lot. This is probably going on this podcast is probably about as much as I've talked about any of these issues ever. So I guess we'll see what the backlash is. But I don't feel any pressure specifically from the pro tour. I would just say it's more of a respect thing.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't say it's from the Pro Tour, but I think that there is pressure on a lot of these topics, especially with the trans issues coming out. Of just like I think the pressure is more of how the fans see you. So you don't want to come out and just fully support one side or fully support the other side because you don't want to lose people that are following you. So I think it's far less from the Pro Tour and more from that perspective on the things you don't want to like talk about. As far as the being heard, though, I felt like I've been very well heard these last few years. I've been trying to be very vocal about my opinions, and I think a lot of people have a respect for my opinions. So it's gotten to this point where when I have something to say, I know that people are actually listening to it and giving it some thought, which is nice. And then the other thing is I finally was like, I just got to go ahead and do it. And I signed up for the rules committee on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. So I think that's another aspect that I can actually make a difference and get my voice heard as well. So I've just been a little bit more proactive and trying to help out with the things I really care about.
Nice. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think I've ever felt from any tour employee or any executive on the tour like pressure to not say anything. And I probably say the most out of anyone on tour. But I agree. I think majority of pros feel that from the pressure's from the fans, right? The pressure is, how do I word this in a way to where I don't lose fans? Or is there even a way of me even saying this without losing fans? And you're going to have some people with where the money is right now in disc golf. You're just going to have some people just not say anything. And that is what it is. And I think it'll be a very interesting day if the money in disc golf ever gets to the point to where players just like don't really care what fans think of them, and then we can actually kind of see what people say, because there always will be those people that are like, I don't really want to stir up anything, I don't want it, but there will be people that are just like, I'm just going to let it fly because I don't give a rip, and I want to say what I want to say. And that's only going to ever happen when purses are the winner's taking home $150,000 and not $15,000.
Your paycheck doesn't rely on it.
Yes.
Right. Do you think that there were a lot of do you think that there was a majority of players that are actively holding their tongue with issues because of that? Or do you think a lot of them are just kind of like, honestly, I don't really care enough to even voice my opinion, even if I was getting paid?
I think that's the majority. I think the majority of people do not care. But there certainly are players for sure that give off a certain persona online that is not really equivalent to what they are in person. And
For sure. Yeah.
But I don't think that's the majority. No.
I would disagree with you a little bit, and I'm not saying this from like an extreme point of view, but I think every single person on tour censors themselves to an extent. And I think it may be a good thing, but I think that every single person thinks to themselves, hey, this is what I think, and I can't say it in the way that I would like to say it because of this reason. And so I don't think it is a minority of players that are like that. I think that's almost everyone, but it's just the extent to which they're censoring themselves.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean. I think we all,
Right.
I think any good human kind of censors themselves, right? Because depending on who you're around, you're probably not going to say certain things. So yeah, I agree with you there. I guess what we're saying more is like, there's a lot of people that just choose not to be present on social media or take a stance on anything. They're just like, hey, I'm just going to post me throwing Frisbees and post about how I do in tournaments, and that's it. And, you can't fault people for that because, again, at the end of the day, you come out, and we saw a little bit with Austin Hannum, right? I don't know if you guys remember when he went on Twitter and he kind of just started letting it rip on Twitter. We kind of saw what could happen, and
I can't fault anyone like that because I do it myself. I am completely in that category of I would rather not stir the pot. I'd rather keep a clean slate and have people like me, and I'll share my opinions that try to, like, I don't know, in a sense that is very toned down from my personal beliefs. So I can't fault anyone for that.
Question on that: what would you call the FPO players that didn't vote for Kristen Tatar Player of the Year?
So on the same issue,
would you call them a joke? Do you think they're a joke?
Listen, I back you 100%, Brodie. If I'm going to lose a few fans over that, it's okay. It's a crazy one.
This is the thing I'll say to you. I voted for All-Stars, and I did not vote for the people that I thought deserved All-Stars.
What? Okay, you should vote. You should vote. What are you talking about?
You should lose your vote.
I voted for Ezra. You know what I mean? I voted for Ezra Aderholt because he's on the cusp, because I would rather see Ezra in the All-Stars versus I think Ezra Robinson deserves to be in the All-Stars more. And I think that's a lot of the case that's going on.
No. The difference between Ezra Aderholt and Ezra Robinson for an All-Star pick is very different from who should the Player of the Year should be.
I'm just saying that on that same token, that this is an experience that I've had myself, and I could see someone being like, "I'm not going to vote for Kristen because I would rather see so and so win it, even if they're not deserving of it."
Okay, I think it's two completely different. I think you're wrong, Jan. I'm sorry.
I think Ezra is deserving for an All-Star spot.
But I wasn't top 12, so I wasn't deserving. But I don't think that's the same thing.
You could have got in with the fan vote, though.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm going to do that. The Player of the Year is who do you think the best player was for that season? I don't think there should be any bias. I want to see this person win the award because then people will vote for themselves. I think it makes the whole system just flawed, and it's just not a good situation. The All-Star thing, they literally put the fan vote in there for people to vote for the players they want to see in the actual All-Star event. So I think you voting for me in that situation instead of Ezra Robinson makes total sense if you'd rather see me play in that event. So I don't think there's any conflict of interest though.
Like if Jake Wolf was like a top 20 player, I could see like a Jake Wolf getting into the All-Star because of just how interesting he is. Like there's
a lot for Jake Wolf for that makes total sense. Yeah. I think it's two totally different things.
I agree with you guys, and I think that it is kind of ridiculous that she wasn't voted for by everyone. But I would say that I am in this category of someone who didn't vote for someone that I felt deserved the spot more for the All-Star when I voted for someone else. You know what I mean? I did.
No, but you actually have an argument.
A little bit.
You have an argument, though.
Of course I have an argument.
Well,
I'm just saying that I could see how someone does that for the other thing because
but there's no argument the other way.
To convince myself in this way.
Right.
No, but you could literally pose an argument of why you think Ezra should be on All-Star instead of this Ezra should be an All-Star versus the other Ezra. You have no argument on why someone should be Player of the Year over Kristen. That's the problem. You cannot pose an argument.
So I guess this is my argument right here, is that I don't think Ezra deserved it, and I don't think I deserved it to be an All-Star, period. Okay? So straight up, me doing this is lying. So to myself, even though there is an argument to be made for we do deserve to be All-Stars, I shouldn't vote for myself because I think the top 12 players deserve it more than we did at like 14 and 15.
No,
and
you gotta have the fan votes in there.
In my mind, that's lying, and so that's why. And I still did it, and that's why I'm saying that I think I could see someone doing that for Kristen as well.
But the All-Stars,
they're lying.
The All-Stars are not the top. The All-Stars are not the top 12 players.
Agree.
Right. I disagree on. I don't think that you. I don't actually. I think you think. Let's see. I think that you voted for the people that you think most deserve the spot. So I don't think the All-Star event is supposed to be entertaining for the fans and for yourself if you're going to be watching. So I think you voted for me over Ezra Robinson because you thought that I would maybe be able to provide a better show, or you wanted to see your friend, compete in things. So I think you actually did vote for the people you thought deserved it. Also, I feel like if both the other Ezra and myself could have been in it and maybe battled and had like little nemesis Ezra off, that would have been awesome. Why don't people vote for both of us?
Oh,
I
your
should have
guys'
voted for Niklas.
trash talk would have been incredible. I bet. I would have loved to seen that press
Yeah, we
conference.
hate each other. It'd be crazy.
Oh man.
I did challenge Niklas to paddle when we get to Europe.
Oh,
Ooh.
So I'm gonna have to see what all the hype is about.
Well, pretty
Because
soon the whole tour is going to be in Europe. So
paddle
Right.
sweep. We need to have a doubles match, Goose. Well, it's you and me versus Ezra and Niklas. I think.
Ooh, there we go. There we
That'd
go.
be-
The full
that'd be fun.
nemesis match, and we'll be like, you guys have to be partners. We don't care if you
they're
like.
like,
each other.
"No, we don't play this
connection, no
game.
problem.
Yeah, I don't even play this game. Doesn't matter.
But what are the chances that it was all accidental that the people that misvoted for against Kristen? Like,
Wait, accidental? Is
I'm
that
just-
what people
I
are
was just-
claiming?
No. But it was like six votes didn't vote for Kristen.
It's like four to five
Human
people.
4 or 5 people. I mean, I don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to. I
Wait,
want to
what
think
are you?
that, like,
What are
it was
you saying?
nefarious, but I'm just
They
saying.
misclicked? Is that what you're claiming?
It's
Could be a
possible.
misclick, could be an error in the system, is what he's saying.
Totally possible it was a misclick.
Probably
Yeah.
not that likely, though. Is my guess.
Unlikely, yeah. I think it was. Yeah, I think. I'm just putting it out there.
I'm just saying that.
I could see click the over box, you're scrolling and you just you tap and you got a little, your fingers may be a little bit slick with some baking
only
grease or whatever it is. You put the wrong one. I don't know.
You only vote for one person, and I could see that someone just being best friends with that person and being like, "I'll vote for you
Yeah,
instead of."
they don't get to vote next year, Aaron.
I see what you're saying.
They literally said that in the fine print of the voting.
Oh, really?
Yes. You
Maybe I
lose
shouldn't
your
be coming out and saying this.
no, but you're saying it in a different way.
Mine's for All Star, so I'm in the clear.
We're
Yeah.
up against them.
Yeah, they literally said, like, if we see that you're voting, if there's anything that you're doing that isn't like, in my opinion, anyone that didn't vote for Kristen, you have no argument, so you should lose your vote. Like, you should lose your vote next year because
Well, yeah, we're not capable of making a good decision.
you don't want this to be a popularity contest. You don't want someone to say, "Hey, we're gonna give you guys free pizza every Friday. Vote for me for class president." Like, no, it goes to the best player of the year. So,
Is this a different? Just first of all, is this a different Player of the Year thing than another? Are there 2 different Player of the Year awards?
PDGA has a player of the year, and that's strictly a algorithm thing.
Yeah,
Where it
okay,
just
I
plugs
gotcha.
it in.
Cool.
Yeah, this is literally vote. So this is voted by your peers that are on tour with you, and voted by I went through the list. There's like 30 media people, and they all got votes, and all the media people voted for Kristen Tatar. So it was just a handful of FPO players that will ever be jokes in my head from now on.